Hello. So the other day I found this golf club and it's a Titleist Vokey 58 degree wedge, which normally runs at about $120, but I got this at my local Play It Again Sports and I got it for $18. So a bit of a steal if you ask me, but there is a catch. It is extremely worn out. You can see all of this rust, all of these scratches. The face has even more rust and the grooves are probably a little bit worn out. So in today's video, I'm going to fix this club and make it look awesome. So the first step in that is to soak it in vinegar to remove the rust, and then I'm gonna rub it off with some steel wool.
Go!
2 hours later.
Okay, and so while that soaks, I'm going to go ahead and shop for a few things that I'll need to fix the rest of the club. And then, after that arrives, we'll be able to go ahead and start sanding it down, polishing it, painting it, making it look cool. So I'm doing this part during class, so hopefully I can get this done before class starts again because I'm on break right now. Basically, I have this paint thinner. It's like the generic brand of White Spirit. I really don't know how to use it that well. I used it on a different club that I'm trying to do the same thing with, but that one is just an old club. I didn't buy it or anything. It's just a hand-me-down, but this one I am recording, so I'm just rubbing all this on, and I think I'm just going to let it sit for a second or two before I start picking it out. But again, I don't know how to use it. It doesn't come with directions, and I am doing this a little bit out of order. I really ought to be sanding it down first, filing it down, but that stuff hasn't come in yet, and I might be tight on time in these next couple days, so I'm doing this part first. I might have to come back and do it again because it's not coming up that well. There's a little bit. I guess it's really not a huge deal if it doesn't come up that well because I'm just going to be painting over it anyways, but I guess you want it to have something to grip to besides more paint. I have the paint right here, so that'll be the last thing that we do. Shout out to my brother for letting me use his Dremel tool. I've never used one of these before, so we're gonna see if I screw something up and break something. But I have used a power drill before. Actually, it's probably the one power tool that I know how to use the best. This can't be that much different, right? Ooh. I think I want to use something to sand it off a little bit first, because I mean I already hand sanded it. I did a lot of sanding off camera, but I still need to clean up a few edges. Now I'm first going to test it on my 60-degree wedge. I'm doing the same thing to it, but this was a club that I already had. I mentioned this before, so I'm just going to test out the sander and see what it does so I don't screw it up on the one that, you know, I actually care about a little bit more. Let's start out at low speed. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, it's kicking up a lot of dust, like metallic stuff, so I'm actually going to put on a mask real quick. I mean, it's really not kicking up that much dust, but like, I'm pretty sure that that's like one of the really bad things that can happen to you from like smoking or vaping is inhaling metals. So I feel like this might be a similar situation where I'd rather not inhale metals, even if it's not that bad for you, just being on the safe side. Oh, that looks so cool. Alright, now time for the real deal. So I already have it pretty decently sanded and filed down. I just gotta get these last little bumps and scratches and then I'll be able to polish it. Whoa! Now, the back side of it is looking pretty good. It's just about ready to get painted over. Yeah, I just need to tape over the face and then polish that side, and then we should be set. Oh yeah, baby. She looking clean. Look at that. Nice and shiny. Ooh, baby. Now it's still got a few dings and stuff, but like, it's about as good as you're gonna get from just a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Now for the fun part, I get to paint it. So obviously, I'm going classic red, white, and blue from my channel's design. Now the thing is, I was painting one of my other clubs, and I spilled this not once but twice. So I have a very limited amount of blue, and honestly, I'm an NC State fan. I'm not going to be using a whole lot of Carolina blue. So that means that I'm going to be real conservative with this, use a lot of red, use a good amount of white, but overall, it's going to be looking pretty sweet. So let's just get into it. Now, I'm not really sure if there's any difference between this and nail polish. I don't know if nail polish is more expensive. These were like $3 a bottle for these little tiny bottles. So kind of expensive for what you're getting, but still not too bad. But it smells exactly like nail polish. You watching this camera, guy? Let's get that camera a little bit closer. It is kind of dark. There we go. Now we got a little bit of light. But yeah, basically, you just cover it and then let it sit for a couple seconds. And then like ever so gently do that. Oh man, see, this stuff just don't want to stick. I don't know what to say. What you say? I did this with a different club and it worked perfectly. But this club is being a little bit difficult. I think because that 8 has so many scratches around it, it's hard to wipe it off cleanly. Let me get that white spirit. See, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to wipe it off and then get the white spirit to get this little crap around it. But again, apparently I don't know what I'm doing. So, you know what? we're gonna save that for last. Let's do the other parts. Let's do the Titleist logo. That'll be kind of cool. I'm just going to do this off camera because I've been recording for like an hour and my camera is probably about to die. So, bye. So, it's been a couple days now and the paint is all dry. It's looking really good. I finally figured it out. It took me way too long to figure it out, but I painted it well. And so now there's really only one step. I almost forgot it actually, but there's only one more step left, and that's just to fix these grooves because these grooves are pretty worn out. And so I have this tool right here. Just gonna clean that up real quick. But I also wanted to show you the two other clubs that I fixed. And I didn't really have the time or resources to record it all, but I figured I ought to at least show you the finished products. So I have my putter right here. I looked up the model design because it's my grandpa's old putter. It is from 1994 and it was about 5 shades darker than it is now. It's a Odyssey Dual Force 660. When I sanded it down, it turned like bright gold. And then I just painted it white, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to test that out when I go out there to test out the Vokey wedge. And then I also, like I mentioned before, I redid this 60-degree wedge too. So we're going to go out there and test that out too. But first, let's fix these grooves. So after about 2 weeks of hard work, I was finally able to test out the club. Now, I had never hit a golf ball with this until now. I never got to try it out in the store. And, you know, I gotta say that this is a very nice club. I think that it's just a testament to how even a beat up old premium brand is gonna play better than a brand new budget brand. So I think that that's, you know, something for new golfers. I think that you ought to look for used equipment first that's about the same price as new equipment that might be on the cheaper side, because, you know, you can always fix it up. And it really cost me like $50 to do all of this, and a good amount of that was just for painting it, which doesn't affect how it plays at all. It definitely makes it look a lot cooler, but, you know, if you just want it to play better, you know, $5 for a groove sharpener, and then $10, $15 for some sandpaper and a file, and then another $5 for baking soda and vinegar, and then you have yourself a brand new club right there. And obviously the Dremel tool also kind of just makes it look better. It makes the sanding process a little bit quicker. If I really wanted to, I could have sanded it the whole entire time. It would have just taken a lot longer, so I chose to use the Dremel tool towards the end of it to speed things up a little bit. But I really loved how all these clubs turned out. You know, even though I'm missing a few putts and thinning a few chips, that's all because of me. It's not because of the clubs. And yeah, I think that, you know, I hope that if you watch this to see how to do it, that you're motivated to go and do it, because I had a lot of fun making this. And here are a couple just pitch shots that I took before my battery overheated. It was about 100 degrees outside when I was doing this, but it was still a lot of fun. But yeah, here's just a clip of, you know, what it used to look like, and it looks about as bad as you can get. But you just got to have an eye for the potential behind things like these. And I think that that's the beautiful thing about restoring any sort of thing and making it look cool and making it not only look new, but, you know, personalize it. I like that red and blue theme, so I made it my own. So if you enjoyed watching this, I'd appreciate a subscription. It really motivates me to keep making fun stuff like this. But anyways, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.